Hi, peoples. My name is Carla Holland Strange, and I talk about all kinds of odds and ends, but just imagine you wake up one morning. You've always known you were a little bit different, but you never knew why or how different you were, right? The reason I'm bringing this up is I know a lot of you are going through that right now. The changes. I'm sorry, I've been cleaning house, so I'm a mess. What if you wake up one morning and realize that even though you didn't go hunt it out or even study about it, that you were a witch? I mean, bloodline all through generation and generation and generation. You're a witch. I call them bloodlines because bloodborne, because we're not given the choices. We are just who we are. We can't stop it. We can't change it. And I know a lot of people are going through that right now. And I thought maybe if I haven't been in the closet since I actually realized who I am, what I am. But if I could explain to you how to deal with it, it might help a little bit. For one thing, if you're a Christian, that does not mean that all of a sudden you aren't a Christian anymore. That just means that you get a little bit more to you. But that doesn't mean that you have to give up your faith. No one would want anybody to give up their faith. But you do have to realize that you probably have more to deal with than the average Christian girl going to church on Sunday. You may have, and we all do, have different abilities. The average has 3. I have 10 active abilities. And they don't all just come in at one time. They'll stagger themselves. And you have to learn. I had to learn. I had to teach myself how to use them and to realize what they truly were. You may be able to heal. You may be a severe empath. They usually go hand in hand. When I say severe, that's not a technical term, by the way. It means that we are an extreme empath in that we feel not only people's emotions. I can feel their pains. I take on their symptoms most of the time if I don't realize it's theirs. We can sense animals. That's why so many of us are so attuned to animals. Plants. Pretty much anything in our world around us. But that also leaves us prey to narcissists and people that like to use empaths and not for the good. Usually to destroy. Hold on, let me get my tea. We are not all witchy cat lovers. I'm not a cat lover, but I'll give my life for one because any animal, we all truly love our animals. You may have stupid abilities like I can untangle all these stupid cords in a few seconds with my eyes closed, just bouncing my hands. Second sight, where you see things that are coming. Notice the numbers. Know what they mean. It's also fortune teller, or whatever they want to call it. You may see dead people. I see dead people. I also help those dead people as they are passing to go to the next stage. It's called a soul bearer. You may be able to see colors around people, the auras. I can't. You may be able to remote. I can't. In other words, you may be able to go into a relaxed state and be somewhere else. You may have all sorts of weird little things start up with your world. And I'm going to tell you about those too, so you'll know how to deal with them as best you can. Because see, I still can't even deal with mine all the time. You will sometimes have wish magic, which is pretty much wishing it happens. You can have the gift of abundance, which means anybody tells me what they need, they get it by that afternoon usually. If they truly need it, the higher powers see that you get it. All of these sound like great, good, fun type things, but they come with a price. Everything always comes with a price. With healing, you will get sick. Not as long as the one you heal, but you will get sick. You will take the pain. Very little will ever thank you for it or believe that you did it. They will always want to find something besides you that did it. Sorry, but that's why. That's why I started to give up healing. I've pulled away from it a lot. Little children will see you from miles ahead. Animals will notice you too. They just can't take their eyes off of you because children and animals have a purity of spirit and they see who you truly are inside. And I go through mine. I go through complete circle of life every month. One day I'll look really young, the next I'll look middle-aged, and then the next day I'll look old, old, old. It's a complete circle of life I go through. I can manifest extremely well, very well. I also, one of my abilities, and this is hard to admit because it's kind of humbling, I have the gift of enchantment. People get crushes on me real easy. I try to tell them that it's not me that they have a crush on. It's a crush on light spirit. Unfortunately, after I go to an intimate level with someone, they're always part of who I am. They are always part of who I am. They do not forget me. They do not leave willingly. But they usually turn psycho, so I really don't know what to do about that one. Except give up intimacy forever. That's why out of all my husbands, they're all still linked to me. Good, bad, and ugly. You will be betrayed over and over by people that you couldn't even imagine being betrayed by. The people that you love will be pushed away from you. Because more than likely if they're being pushed away from you, they're not like you. They will not be around in battle, or rather, the ending of everything. I can't say the ending. Please don't take me like that. They just will never accept you because they are not one of. Just because you're born of a bloodline does not mean you are a bloodline. And sometimes you're what they call a late bloomer. You won't get your abilities or your knowledges until late, like I didn't. When I say I can manifest, I guess the spirit within did not like the shell out on the outside, and my bone structure changed, my fingerprints changed, my curved, broken hands straightened themselves and came back straight. My fingers were always sideways. We heal super fast, but we also go through massive traumas, body traumas. They push us to death over and over and over. The higher powers do. They're always testing you to see how you will react to the test. And it'll be different tests. It'll be moral test, healing test, test to see if you're developing faster than the normal bear. We do. We wake up learning and knowing things that we never knew before. As I said, you do not have to give up your religion or your faith. That's wrong. But you do need to be around your own kind somewhat. Even if it's online, talk to others, ask questions. Realize that just because it's their way of practice does not make it your way of practice. I can guarantee you, I do not practice magic any way that others do. I don't know anyone that does. I don't have a cauldron. I don't have a bunch of herbs and mixtures and everything. I do it a different way. And that was a hard lesson to learn, because when I was first learning, a lot of people paid the price from anger and ignorance. And I didn't believe in myself enough to see what I could possibly do if someone pushed me the wrong way. Now, every time I do take care, I do it calculated, I do it planned, and I know not to bring family members into it. Because I did. I used to. We are still responsible for our own karma. So treat people the way you want to be treated in any shape, form, or fashion. And if you do have a few abilities, realize that you're nothing special. You just have a job and you do it as best you can. Also realize that if you do have abilities, they will change your life. Most of our kind have had to struggle and fight so much to survive that they've gone to the dark side. Just because someone's got magic does not make them good or bad. It makes them magical. That's it. That's why so many of our kind are in prison. Because they were so indulged, and so they felt they should always be indulged. And no, you're here either as a warrior or as a student. Nothing more, nothing less. That means if you're a warrior or a student, it's sacrifice at all times for the greater good. I'm willing to help anyone going through this change. I will not put curses on people for you. I will not do your work for you. If you want to learn, I'm willing to help you learn, but I will not do your work for you. For one thing, I am a gray. I am not a little white light crap. I'm not a dark. I will not attack first, but I will finish the war. So don't ever think that just because I'm meek and mild, I'm not strong, because I can beat the best of them and still be standing, and probably put them down a peg or two. They're lucky if it's just that. I hope what I'm saying helps you a little bit to understand. Period. So let me explain a few things to notice about yourself. You probably already have. Have you started looking younger? Have you started, really had super bad times, especially around your birthday? Have marks appeared on your body, symbols, in the oddest places, but they're gone right after a little while? Does the moon change you? Do you feel the effects of the moon? Do you always, or have you always felt like you're not part of your own family? You love them, you just don't feel like them. You always have felt different. Little children and animals watch you intently. And do you seem to piss people off a lot? And things that happen to you don't even seem real because they are so they're off the chain weird. Until I woke up, before I woke up, my life was golden. Everything I touched, I made a success out of. But when I changed, my life was changing drastically fast. Anyway, any questions, get in touch with me. My name is Carla Holland Strange. I awakened in 2009. Did not still realize till 2011 what I was. I just thought it was a spiritual awakening, and it is in a way. It's an awakening to who and what you are and the job you have ahead. And just because you might be older, don't think you don't have a job, because you'll see that we don't get old like most people. We get stronger. Peace out. Many blessings.